Good afternoon. Welcome back to Wolf of Asgard Hobbies. If you're a new viewer, welcome to Wolf of Asgard Hobbies. I am your host, Kyle. Today we'll be talking about the Brown Bess along with the Bayonet. We will also be talking about the National Guard and the California National Guard. Here are your timestamps. Let's get to it. In front of me is the British land pattern musket, better known as the Brown Bess. Measures at 57 inches total. The barrel can be in either 42 inches or 46 inches. It is a flintlock smoothbore 75 caliber musket. Although soldiers, sailors, and Marines would shoot the much smaller bore 69 caliber as a means of faster loading. On average, it weighs 9 pounds. The musket I have in front of me is shorter by 1 inch. It's 42 inches with a total of 57 altogether, if I remember correctly. Weighs 9.8 pounds and is calibrated in 75, but as I've stated previously, for faster loading, we will be discharging a 69 caliber ball. It was first introduced in 1722. It would continue to be used until 1830, where it would be converted into percussion lock. It would eventually be replaced by the P-53 or 1853 Enfield rifle musket. However, it would continue to be used up until 1867. It was made by multiple factories throughout England and the English Empire. Has an effective target range of 100 yards, an effective area range of 300 yards, a maximum fire distance of 1,200 yards, and yeah. So, with it is the bayonet. The bayonet is believed to come from a French town known for its cutlery, Bayonne. Although the first bayonets did not look like this. In fact, the first bayonets I'm getting ahead of myself. So, quick story. When the musket began to dominate the battlefield, they were assigned to groups of pikemen, and these pikemen would protect their musketeers from enemy infantry as well as enemy cavalry while they reloaded. And seeing how, on average, it took you anywhere from 15 to 20 seconds per shot, close engagements would happen. But it wasn't very cost effective, so they would invent a plug bayonet, and as the name implies, it was a short dagger with the handle that could fit into the inner dimensions or the inside of the musket plug bayonet. It offered personal defense should the enemy get too close, but at the same time you could stick it into the end of your musket as a makeshift pike against enemy cavalry or doing bayonet charges. However, the plug bayonet did have its own issues. Sometimes during the charge it would fall out, meaning you'd meet the enemy with an unloaded musket and no means to defend yourself. As a result, in the late 18th century, they would do something like this. They would make a mouth around it. As you can see, one end sticks higher than the other. This is where the front sight, similar to a shotgun, has a front bead, would slide, follow the channel. I'll bring you in closer once I'm done explaining. It would follow the channel and then just lock into place, allowing, this had two advantages. One, now you can reload your musket and still employ your bayonet. This would also keep you from losing your bayonet as it was now fixed to your musket. So I'm going to bring you in closer and you're going to see me slide the bayonet onto my musket. On average, the bayonet would be 15 inches long, and due to the triangular shape of it, it would leave a nastier wound compared to the pike or plug bayonet. And now we're going to address the quick myth real quick. There's a common myth or misconception that being stabbed with a triangular bayonet leaves a wound that's impossible to treat. This is actually false. Even though the wound was nastier because it was, wider compared to the slit you would normally get, there are medical reports from the Civil War and wars before it where the bayonet was deployed and used against enemy infantry. It would leave a wound. The injured would go to a hospital. After being treated, they would report back to active duty. It had more of a psychological effect. Between being shot and stabbed, what would you rather prefer? I think any sane person would rather be shot versus stabbed. But no, being stabbed by a triangular blade bayonet is not a end result. It is not going to instantly kill you, and it is not banned by the Geneva Convention. However, serrated bayonets are. Alright, so now that we went over a quick history of the bayonet, a quick history of the Brown Bess, let's go to the field and discharge the firelock.
Alright, first rule of gun safety, make sure the firearm is unloaded. We'll treat all firearms if they're loaded to check and confirm if they are. I did that off screen because this is an awfully long musket. In a bit of a misfire, unlike the other flintlocks, there's no touch hole screw. So you can take the firelock off if you want, but there's no touch hole screw. And at the same time, unlike other flintlocks, this doesn't taper in and add an angle into the barrel. This is just one straight thing. So all you really need is a pick of some kind. It can be a bobby pin. It could be an actual nipple pick. I have a bobby pin connected to the sling. Bring the cock into half cock. Straighten out your bobby pin. And then just go straight through. And that's pretty much it. Then reprime it. And you should be good to go.
Alright, here we are. I set out the targets 100 yards. We're going to fire 2 rounds at them. We're going to move up to the 65, go into the kneeling, shoot 2 more rounds. Then we're going to fix the bayonet and go into a charge. Now, the thing to remember is the Brown Bess served 15 different nations, fought in 44 different conflicts, and had 8 different variations. Alright, so let's find the targets for you. Those 3 white squares are the target. Alright, I'm going to load up in front of you. Okay, so we had a misfire. It was reprimed. Should be good to go now. Okay, so. Are you still recording? Yes, so we have a dirty frizzen. Just gotta wipe that clean. Still recording, I hope. Yep, alright, let's try again. Alright, pause. Alright, clean the frizzen, clean the flint. Let's try it. Alright, let's move up to the 65, shoot at the kneeling. Alright, so we've been given the order to fix bayonets. In order to prime and load. But I want a little extra certainty this time. So, 4F powder. Okay. Cartridge. You should be able to see the target still. Okay, so I'm going to pick it. Oh, it didn't go through, so there's a little blockage. Good. Priming. Cloth. Clean the flint. Let's try again. Reload. Alright, it's been re-cleaned. Just below it. I solved that one. Alright, let's see if I hit anything. Doubt it. So I don't know if I got the center target at the 100 and the 50, but if I'm going to zoom in, it is just below the third button. So I'm going to consider the center guy out, which means we're on bayonet charge, the commander on the left, and the soldier on the right. Parry. Parry. If it was a sturdier target, yeah, screw it, survivors. Where they were.
The first colony-wide militia was formed in 1636 in Massachusetts. This would be the first National Guard. However, the first time the National Guard was used as a title wouldn't be until 1824 in New York by the French National Guard, who called themselves the French National Guard in honor of the Marquis de Lafayette, who was a big
player in the American Revolution. The National Guard wouldn't be the standard title for state militias until 1903, and it wouldn't be until 1933 that the National Guard would fall both under state and federal. The National Guard would serve in their local states as well as across the nation. Examples of this is the War of 1812, the Homestead Strike, the Pullman Strike of 1894, and the Colorado Labor Wars. The National Guard were also deployed internationally during the Mexican-American War, the Spanish-American War, the Vietnam War, the Iraq War, and the Afghanistan War. The National Guard would also provide humanitarian aid during the September 11th attacks of 2001, in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina in 2005. They would also shovel snow, feed cattle, and deliver food and necessities to civilians trapped in their homes on February and January of 2007. They would also help fight fires in South Carolina on November 17th, 2006. The National Guard recruits members and has members from all 50 states and the 4 American territories of Guam, Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, and the District of Columbia. But let's talk about the California National Guard real quick. Before becoming the California National Guard, it was the California Militia, founded on July 27th, 1849 by the California Constitution. It would be formally established in San Jose on April 4th, 1850 by the first California legislature. After being established by a group of volunteers or independent companies, in 1850, Governor Bayonet would call on the California Militia twice to handle the Yuma Indians and again to aid the Sheriff of El Dorado County. The California Militia Mariposa Battalion would serve during the Mariposa War in the Sierras from 1850 to 1851. In 1851, the California Militia would be sent to San Diego County to suppress the Gara Revolt. In May 1853, a small section of California Militia would be organized into the California Rangers to capture Joaquin Moreta of the Five Joaquins gang. I did an episode on this on the California Rangers in the Rangers episode on my channel. In 1861, the California Militia would disband due to differences on the Civil War and join other units. In 1866, the California Militia would be reformed, but would be professionally trained, equipped, and provided Army uniforms. The California National Guard would serve in World War I, World War II, most famously against the Imperial Japanese Army in the Pacific. They would also serve against, the Germans in the Battle of the Bulge. They would serve in the Korea and Vietnam War, Operation Desert Storm and Desert Shield, Afghanistan and Iraq. They'd be stationed in Qatar, Guantanamo Bay, and so on. So if some of you have watched my previous episodes, I've made mention about me enlisting in the National Guard. Well, as of October 3rd, I have enlisted. I had my first drill October 13th, on which I passed. It will be November 13th that I will be flying to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri for my basic training and my AIT. I will be gone for 17 weeks. So I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you to all my friends and family who have been watching my videos and following me along. I would also like to say thank you to my co-workers who have supported me. And I also like to say thank you to my viewers if you were made aware for supporting me as well. I've chosen the MLS of Combat Engineer. And so there will be a long lapse in time before my next video, but that's nothing new. I don't post regularly. Anyway, so until next time, stay safe. I'll be posting this video on Halloween, so happy Halloween. And until next time, have a beautiful day.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click the like button. If you have any suggestions or criticisms, leave a comment. And if you want to stay tuned for my next project, don't forget to click that subscribe icon and ring that bell. So, until our next project, have a beautiful day.